Call the meeting to order.
Jenkins.
Here.
Arden.
Here.
Vaughn.
Here.
McKinley.
Here.
Pearl.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first thing that we have on our agenda tonight is a presentation by Dr. Mueller, Vice President of Government Affairs, presenting Forest Boggs the Illinois Municipal Electric Agency Scholarship. Doc, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Forrest. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of the council. It's a pleasure to be here. Why don't you turn around so these folks can see you too. On behalf of the Electric Agency and the Association and the 60 electric, natural gas, water, and wastewater utilities that we represent, for which we offer training and governmental representation, it's my pleasure to present a $500 scholarship to Forrest Boggs and a little bit of help to Kevin and to Aaron as well for upcoming college. I want to tell you that Forrest wrote an essay, which is how we handed out our scholarships this year. And it's particularly timely. His essay related to the future of power supply in the United States and the role that lower carbon emitting forms of generation are going to take. And just today, you probably saw the news that the administration announced the new greenhouse gas regulations on power plants across the United States. Very controversial, but I'm thrilled to have a young man like Forrest beginning to think about issues like that. And it's always good to have an educated electorate and some folks coming through college that will know a little bit about these issues. So Forrest, on behalf of the Association of the Agency, $500, and I also know that you'll cherish this all the rest of your life. This incredibly expensive certificate, which I'm sure will hang on his wall in the place of honor until his grandkids come to look at it. So Forrest, congratulations. And Mayor, I believe you have a presentation as well.
Forrest, we have a matching fund as well additionally. So from the city of Farmers City, we have a check for $500 for you. So congratulations, sir.
And Mayor, would you mind if I got a picture of all three of us before you? That's where you go. All you have there is outstanding. Congratulations, Forrest. Mayor, members of the council,
Gentlemen,
thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. That moves us to section 1, the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Call it.
Arden.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
McKinley.
Yes.
Pearl. Jenkins.
Yes. There being no unfinished business, we move to section 3, new business.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2014-20, the TIP 1 grant to Charles Wisman, DBA Wizzies for 306 South Main Street.
Discussion?
What you going to use repairs for? I mean, what repairs are you going to do? You know that?
His wall in the back is settled considerably. He's going to remove some concrete back there. Just tonight we discussed putting in a new sewer line and water line off of those improvements that had never been done into his building, so he's going to get that done while he's there. Brandt Construction will be doing the work.
Is it going to be on that, what he uses as a garden back there? Or
I believe so.
that's where it's going to go?
Yes.
What is the percent that the tip will be?
67%, I believe, was, no, we came up with 80%, I'm sorry, I stand corrected, 80%.
Where do you come up with the number at?
That's the percentage that the committee has been using for that type of work. Total cost was just a little over $5,000, and so they awarded him not to exceed $4,000.
Any other questions or discussion? Call it.
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-21, TIF 1 grant to Donna Matera for 217 South Main Street.
Discussion.
This is part of getting the pharmacy to come to Farmer City. I sent you all a copy of the contract so you knew all the language that's in the contract. The $100,000 will enable her to put in heating, cooling, to completely revamp the building. It's obviously going to be more than $100,000 to get that building up to speed. It has no utilities in it whatsoever. She's planning on spending anywhere from $300,000 on up. That would include, of course, this $100,000. So,
In addition to or including, it's including the...
including this. She has been in Farmer City on 3 different occasions, either her or some of her business associates, and have been in that building and inspected that building from top to bottom.
Her rent is $1 a month for the...
$1 a year.
$1 a year. At the end of the term, she can buy the building, is that right?
That's correct.
She opts not to, it just goes back to us.
We get the building back and improve it, yes.
Any other questions, discussion? Call it.
McKinley,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes. Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-22, resolution authorizing the mayor to sign lease agreement with Donna Matera for 217 South Main Street.
I'll second. Discussion.
You've all received a copy of the lease. The lease was drawn up by Ken Bett. Keep in mind that Donna Matera has not seen it yet. However, she knows the basics that is inside the lease. I don't think that she's going to have an issue with anything that's in there. You see at the end of the lease, should she not fulfill her side of it, then the building reverts back to Farmer City. The city of Farmer City will have a modern, updated business or building to market. There again, by going into the lease and with the TIF grants that you just passed, she'll be able to get that building modernized. In the future, she'll redo the upstairs. They're not going to worry about the upstairs immediately. I've had a couple of emails with her. She wants to get started. She'd like to have been in there 2 weeks ago, so she's really anxious to get going, getting in Farmer City.
When do they speculate the work would start then upon, immediate then?
I would say so. If I were to be able to call her tomorrow, I'm sure that you'd see some activity down there in the near future.
Very good.
Very near future.
Realistically, you look possibly fall?
I would say so, yes. It's a remarkably solid building. Keep in mind it didn't have a roof on for several years. We got in the basement. The floor joists are good. It appears to be remarkably solid. It's just the shell setting down there that.
Is there a full basement underneath there, or is there dirt part of it?
It's all dirt floor. It's about 2/3 dug out, and then the rest of it's just a shell.
questions or discussion?
Great job by Larry and DCDC to find this and get this
Mark,
going.
Mark located her and brought her to town, and from there we worked her, so.
Good job. Great asset to the city.
I think
I
that's
think
good.
it'd be a great asset.
I think it will be too, and as of today, the flower shop is moving and they're coming around in the main street. They're gonna be in Tom Rick's building, so you're gonna have more foot traffic on Main Street just because of those two new potential, either new or relocated businesses, so.
Call it.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
motion carried.
This brings us to other items, the city manager's report.
Just to keep you posted, 502 South Maple Street, the complaint's been placed on file down to DeWitt County Circuit Clerk. That property owner had responded to a letter from our city attorney, and he had stated that that foundation would be enclosed by a specific date. He did not meet that deadline, and I drove by there today. There hasn't been any activity there. Same 419 South Main Street. Obviously, that trailer's been an issue for a while, and those people have been served with a notice to get that rectified. So we're just starting that process. They have 10 days to meet that obligation, or they'll receive a summons as well.
Is that the trailer directly behind Casey's?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Water Department's got several projects going on. If you are getting any complaints about rusty water, keep in mind that the water superintendent has put a chemical in there. He's getting the water mains and getting that iron all activated, and then he's going to go around and flush the hydrants. He's going to go around and do it maybe with only one or two guys. He wants to know which hydrants are working properly and which aren't. He doesn't want to go off a list that was made back in 1986 or whatever. He wants to know personally about the fire hydrants. We had a supervisors meeting. We have scheduled when the water main will be turned on down at, not necessarily turned on, but at least hooked up for South Park, so we can get that done. And as you can see, that's scheduled for the 17th. Up on North Main, that fire hydrant up there, there's not a valve on it, so a large portion of north into town will be without water when they do that. We're going to make sure that through the radio station and posting notes in the doors, people have a lot of notice that the water will be off there.
That's across from the old lumber yard?
No, that would be up at Sherry Whitehouse's. They're on the corner. There's not a valve on that hydrant, so, and that one's been leaking for a while. There again, he's going to be flushing the main soon, and City Hall has begun the process of working with the collection agency, and there have been some people that have some old statements that have been turned into the collection agency, so we know that letters are already going out. As you can see, there's several thousands of dollars on the books from old bills, so we're going to try to get some of that recovered.
Are these ones that skipped out on us and paid the bill?
Well, you might say skipped out, yes.
What you might say.
You're out of town.
Well, some of them are still right here in Farmer City. So,
But do they have
but the
service
utilities are not in their names necessarily or whatever. So there's all different circumstances, but there's just a lot of money. It's just never, no one's ever.
They had utilities in their name at one time at some location.
Correct.
Moved from that location, went to another location where the utilities were
In somebody else's name.
in somebody else's name, being the landlord, if anything.
Landlord or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or aunt, uncle, so. But we're going to try to get some of that money back, recovered back. I reported at the last meeting that Glenn Isaacs was down at SIU. Glenn brought in today his certificate. He's now a wastewater treatment plant operator. So now we have 2 licensed wastewater plant operators, and Chad was scheduled to go for the water class next week. Unfortunately, he was the only one scheduled, and so that class has been canceled for now. So
questions to the city manager and his report?
Congratulate Glenn for us. That's great.
Yes, it's really quite an accomplishment.
Any questions to the manager?
Yeah, the only one, I've got one here about some of the yard modes ordinance, we had, and they have mowed, actually, we had a neighbor mow one and it's over on Richardson Street.
Yeah, I know about that.
Okay.
We've actually, and I say we, the city had already made contact with them.
Okay.
I think the day after the city made contact with them, then somebody there in the neighborhood went down there and mowed part of that, so.
And then the one on Allen Street, just down from east of the light plant.
Okay, yeah.
We need
In
to.
that empty house, I saw it. And I think that the chief said that out of all the inoperable vehicle violations, he had dealt with like more than 25, and he's down to about 4 that's non-compliant so far that he's still working with. So.
Any non-agenda items and other business? Has the rock been delivered yet to South Park for the park project coming up? And
I saw him this morning. He's never requested it yet. So.
Okay. They have marked it out to where the park's going to go. And I believe they're going to be. They haven't broke ground yet, correct?
Not that I know of. That I wasn't. I didn't see it yesterday when I went by there. I doubt if they were out there today, but I don't know.
And go ahead.
The sidewalk from the new subdivision, is there a different route other than 54 that we can look into?
The only other route that I would know would be back there in that field.
You said TIP 2 could take care of that, didn't you?
Yes.
What do we need to do to get that done?
Owner's permission.
What do we need to do to get the owner's permission?
Well, I mean, first of all, is that the avenue you want to go? I mean, if you're in agreement that that's the avenue you want to go,
I think we.
I wouldn't want to put time into it, bring it back to you, but you really didn't want to go that route. So, if
I thought, as I recall, it was kind of, it was, I won't say a dead issue, but we did have some concerns about going up on the highway. We had some owners that.
And there's not a whole lot of room there. I've kind of
stressed that they would still be on the highway. I know that in that community, they were, I don't want to use the, should I use the word promise? A sidewalk in that back section, so.
And other things.
And other things, I know a playground and what have you, and of course,
I will tell you, Mayor and Council, that, and I was talking to the guy one day in Willard pulled up, and he lives out there, and he had a consensus that they would like to see it out along the highway. They prefer the more visible sidewalk than back there in that field. But then again, you had some property owners that didn't want it out there. So just give me some direction on which avenue to go, and that's
you have some property owners on.
the people that live in the
Clinton Avenue.
subdivision. No, sir.
Had some.
Well, the people in the subdivision, are saying that they think that it would be more beneficial to have the sidewalk out along Route 54 because it's well lighted, it's more visible, it's open, than to put it back along the cornfield back there, the tall trees and all that. That was their preference. You had a couple of the property owners that didn't want it out in their front yard because they didn't want people walking up and down through there. Or they thought that it would create a drainage problem or whatever. There were just various reasons why they didn't want it out there.
I think it's a safety issue to go down on the highway, especially if you've got kids.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things.
What about putting lights out there if we went on the backside? Having tip money also put some lights out there too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
I would say that.
I mean, you already, and that was the thing, you already had, the highways already lighted, all you had to do was, beef that lighting up a little bit.
My
Go back there,
understanding-
you run a new line.
My understanding is we got 2 houses getting ready to break ground out there,
I
Is this one here?
thought that they had already broken ground, but I went out there over the weekend and I haven't seen any activity.
I mean, we've got development out there and love to see that area developed, and I think that a sidewalk isn't a major issue. I mean, if we're gonna have, conflict or fights when it comes to putting it on Clinton Avenue or, on that highway, let's explore. I mean, the council can give their opinion, let's explore going out the backside, put some lights out there too, and use some TIP 2 funds and just get the thing done. So, gentlemen?
I think it's kind of agreed to go up to the backside if we could.
Yeah, I like that idea. I just don't like the kids on bicycles and stuff next to the highway.
Another question, is that, yeah, I like the backside better, but is that gonna be, will there be farm machinery going over that at all? Will there be any farm machinery or anything like that that's gonna be, you know, planting, cultivating, harvesting? That's, we're gonna have to put some serious concrete down if that's happening. Otherwise, it's gonna be staying for one season and for, you know, repairing. That's my only question, you know, if it's in a spot that's gonna be traveled by heavy machinery.
Well, I think you have to look at a lot of alternatives, you know, how would we go back there and do it, whether it's, like you say, because the farm machinery, I thought a little bit about that too. Whether you take it around or something, take it towards the edge of the property and come up or whatever to avoid the farm machinery as much as possible. Put a grassed, if you can, put a grassed area, maybe 6 foot away from the sidewalk, so they 6 or 10 foot, so they do stay away from it. And they turn the equipment if they have to be done too. Property owner is Stewart.
Yeah.
I would like to see it developed a little bit. We've talked before about a walking path, what's it called, Constitutional Trail and Blooming. That's.
I think the thing is maybe to get an aerial and maybe we look at it and draw out something like an aerial and try to figure out what might be a better way to go.
I know the church out there has said before that whether it's in the front or whether it's in the back, that they would work with us. So it'd just be the remainder of it, if there would be any implement issues.
I think it'd be better to have a picture to look at, see what we can figure out from that. So I'd like to see it, to get that together. Get it to us.
Aerial shot.
So the consensus is that we would like you to move forward with the backside, exploring TIP 2 funds to make it happen, including lighting if that's an issue, and what have you. Love to see that finally done. Any other non-agenda items or other business? With there being no public comments, we would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So, call it.
Martin,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. What's that?